Hi, everyone. Welcome to It's a Cosmic Joke. We're going to get started.
Hello.
Hi. We are live. We made it through this ascension wave.
I think we're
Allison
alive.
was out a lot longer than I was. I'm not going to say it. Okay.
Oh man. Yeah, that's true. It's probably been close to 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And not able to function physically, and it's been my back has burning. It still is going on. It's like it's just burning, tingling, burning, and there's nothing you can do about it. I just know that it's doing whatever it is. It just feels like it's an open portal. I mean, it's just really a portal of information that's just flowing so quickly, so fast. But as we just talked about a little bit ago, the flashing, a lot of flashing lights, different, white, pink, blue, green. I think there's even been a few violets, but not very many. Mostly it's white or a light green, I've noticed.
Yes,
and my crew says
streaks. It looks
yes.
like streaks. I was seeing that all day. I mean, I see them, but today I was actually seeing more of it, and I was like, wow. Like I was sitting there going, what the hell is going on?
Well, and those are our connections, because again, as we've talked about before, we've got the bodies, each of the bodies around our physical body, and as each one of those gets plugged on and comes online, the sparks that we see, the little flashes, are showing us that next one is attaching. So it's, running from this body to this body, the mental to the emotional, or however far out someone may be. And any distortion in those connections, they spark. I mean, it's like an electric. It is electric. That's what we are. We're electric beings. And so the spark comes up. And as we were talking earlier, it brings up a lot of stuff in the physical body, because as those are being attached and cleared by our higher selves, oversouls, our teams, medical teams, whatever it is, whoever's involved in that specialty of that body, of that issue, whatever issue comes up, it's like they will keep running it back and forth until they've got the connection. That's just what, an electrician, energetic electrician, that's what we are. The energetic electrician will do. And as it does that, it's going to bring up stuff within the physical form that is, remember, I mean, all time, space, realities, dimensions, because this is on a soul level, not a human physical level. So as weird things came up, or, different emotions, or, events or things are coming up, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's been held within this physical form. It's been held within those outer bodies at some time, place within your life stream, since the beginning of your life stream. But that's exciting. So, I mean, when things like this happen, just go with it. I mean, it's like one of the things that my crew said at the beginning is, be involved in the process. Be involved. Don't just, sit back and go, this is going on, I don't know what's going on, this is freaking me out. Which is true, because that's initial reaction on some things. Humans going, I don't like this. But they're saying be involved. Recognize that there are upgrades going on. This is, for your highest. They're attempting, or are bringing online, a new Merkaba, a new shield, a new body. And that if we sit and go, okay, I allow, and I release whatever it is that needs to go. If you need me to see something to help, I will. If you can just do it in my sleep, great. Because we can ask that. I mean, you and I both do that. So I'm just like, okay, I know this needs to be fixed. Can you just put me to sleep and do it and get it done?
I do most of my stuff in my sleep at the now. So I ask them to do it. That way I can stay more present during the day. But sometimes you can't stop it when you have so many visuals coming through of people, relationships, places, and you're just like it's like a tornado. Like, it's literally like, oh my God, what is this? Like, and then certain things that you think you've went through already are just like completely coming up over and over again. So.
And that's true, because they're not going one by one. I mean, you figure if this body to this body, and there's, 1,000 connection points, they're not going to go 1, 2, 3. It could be, 500 at once. It could be 1,000 at once. It could be however many points simultaneously. So the information, the images, the stuff that we're getting are going to see, they don't go together. No, they don't. They don't, because it's dealing on so many different issues simultaneously on these connections.
Yep.
One thing that they were talking about, because we assist in our own clearings. We send things to the violet fire. We do whatever, we're doing. And a big, huge caution, lack of a better word, any of us that are doing healing work, Reiki work, whatever work, all of us have done, well, not all of us, the majority of us have done where we will, remove something or energies and we throw it, we'll literally just throw it into the fire. That is our way of getting rid of things. Mm-hmm. They're saying, when you do that, use your left hand, always throw to the left side, not to the right side. The left side is your light side. The right side is your night side. And they're saying that any of these, because it's usually something darker or something denser that we're pulling off, by throwing it to the right, we're actually throwing it to our night side selves, which is reusing it in a way that they want to. Throw it to your left. Stay to the left on the light sides and let the light sides deal with it.
I never even heard that one. That's different.
I know. I was like, it makes sense.
That's kind of funny though, because I'm like, I always go this way. So now it makes sense why I always go to the left. Like when I'm moving stuff for my clients, I go to the left. That's interesting. Like I'll move because it's like you just sit there and go. Yes. A lot of the times I do things through the quantum field portals though. I'll open it up and then send everything back to source. So it's just like just sit there and send for it to just be transmuted and cleared and to send it all back to source anyways. So
again, it's just, a next beginner point they're saying on our mastery of we have to have that down. I said, okay. To the left it is. To the left. I said the back burning. The other thing is with this, the 17D shield, our 7th Merkaba, with these new energies, and we've got the mitochondrial update, like we talked about before with the DNA upgrades on the feminine, the mitochondrial upgrade. The organs are having some issues. I don't know about anybody else, but it's as though you can absolutely feel what's going on. I mean, it's like you can feel your organs feel weird. The blood feels weird. Things going through your system. It's like this tingling, buzzing. I don't know what's going on with my body. This is just really kind of freaky. And that has to do with the DNA.
I was telling you. Go ahead.
Yeah. It has to, that's okay. It has to do with the DNA upgrades. So it's actually rewriting the DNA back to the beginning, not quite the beginning, but more beginning human blueprint of the mitochondrial DNA, which undoes a lot of the false programming, a lot of the feminine oppression, the stuff that we've gone through for thousands of years as the females. And that includes males. It's not just women. Everybody has mitochondrial DNA. Yeah. So that's really a rewrite. And so it is altering within us things that we had never seen it in a different light before. So it's as though, yes, the divine feminine is coming online again within all of us. It is bringing up an original blueprint to neutralize a lot of those other programs that we've been going through, which is wonderful, but our physical forms are not used to how that feels. So a lot of the anxieties, a lot of the things that are coming up, we're like, the body is going, this doesn't feel right. This isn't what I know. I don't know what's going on. And do I need to freak out? Am I having a heart attack? Am I going nuts? Am I crazy? All of that is perfectly normal.
Depends on how open you are too. Yeah. Okay. If you're really open, like me and you are, I'm sorry, but I feel like that the visual side, as far as the third eye, that we see things and we receive things a lot more. Okay, I can see people going through their ascension process in certain ways, but when you're like completely flaring open like a freaking banana, I don't know. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, how open we are. It's like you can see everything through all time and space, like all past lives, everything. Like it's pretty crazy sometimes. Yes. Where you're just getting visuals after visuals. It's almost as if like you're walking through you're walking through time, like timelines, like this, and you're like, what in hell, or walking through dimensions. It gets really crazy. And then the physical body, is that something else? It's like, you know, I was telling you, like, it just, when that happens, the DNA upgrades, it's just like, you can feel like it's just an energy we're just not used to. Yeah. At least for me anyways.
Me too.
I was telling you, like, it just feels like, to me, I was like, it feels like nasty energy, but it's actually what we're cleansing out. All that stuff is what we're cleansing out in our physical body.
I know.
And then I start wondering, I'm like, is this in the physical body? Is this like across all time and space too?
And ancestral.
You know what I'm saying?
Genetically, that body is a product of however many back of genetics.
Exactly. So if we're doing, I'm clearing for like a mass level.
Yes, we are.
It's just, wow. It's
awesome. It's awesome.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I'm gonna keep saying that.
Yeah, me too.
My
I'm so grateful. And you know, and it's part of it I've looked at, because I have been down, you know, for so long, to the point that I wasn't able to function. I have slept, you know, my normal sleeping is 2 to 4 hours a night or something, and there were days where, I mean, I might have been up 4 hours in a day, and it was just all I did was sleep. And yes, I mean, I'm going back to Australia in probably about 3 weeks, and I'm thinking, all right, I'm getting upgraded to whatever system is next. I mean, it's just like massive shifts and changes within me that are going on right now, which is great. I'm happy.
That's
One thing.
Go ahead.
No, that's fine. I was going to say, because you jumped into timelines, and that was the next thing on my list, which is funny.
That's what the experience I wanted to talk about. Since September 27th, I had the complete rebirthing, which I told you about. So why I want to talk about this is that was visual too. So everything looks like a movie screen. Like you're literally just seeing a movie screen in front of your face. And I literally could see myself going backwards all the way through time to the point of going into, you know, my mom's birth canal, in, you know, actual birth, going all the way back into the fetus, all the way back into the spark of life of myself. Like it was the most amazing thing to look at. But I was like, wow. Like I was like, holy crap. It just looked like a movie screen. I was just being dragged. And then I could see myself coming out. And I was actually in myself, like coming out of the birth canal. I could see my dad holding me. I could see how my mom felt when she held me. You know, and then I was like, you know what? I want to go back in. So I was like, I don't want to be here. Like, and I'm sure many of us feel like that, but because of what I was going through the few days, it made me feel like I honestly just wanted to stay in my mother's womb. That's right, exactly what I wanted to do. So as I was going through the process, I said, can we pause this? You know, because I cleared all the way back, but I wanted to go back to like, I just want to stay inside, like inside the womb of my mother. Like
I'm not ready for this.
Yeah, I was like, I'm okay. I don't want to come back out. I sat there for a long time, like in a fetus position, because the ascension process is like, here I just went through a death and rebirth, through everything, but previous to that, I was clearing for a lot of heartache too. So I was just like, I don't, you know, want to be here. And I feel like all of us get to that point where we just want to be like, yeah, this is where I feel safer at, inside my mom's womb right now. I just want to go back into this. When you emotionally go up and down a lot, because you're reviewing, you're going through life reviews, and you're looking at everything. You know, sometimes you'll be looping, is what I was talking about, through certain things, certain events, you know, trials and stuff in your life. So I was just like sitting there, I was just like, I want to stay. And then a couple days later, right after the new moon, this is like, 24 hours, 27 hours, you know, Allison's like, yeah, I'm still feeling bad with the upgrade and everything. I'm like, I'm feeling great. You know, seems to be doing good, you know? And then like 29th, boom, I just got like it was literally like a surge of energy just went right into my stomach, all the way up through my heart chakra, back of my skull. I could see the sun, literally the sun through my third eye. Like I was completely aligned with the sun. And all I know is that I could see flashes of nothing but timelines. Like it was just speed of light, like a computer system going, like that's what I was talking to you about. And it was just this crazy, whatever bizarre experience of my fourth encounter, I call it, and of going through something like that. So it was just insane. And I was like, jumped up and I was like, oh God, not again. I was like, no, like I jumped up. I was like, it was crazy. But my whole body was just filled with, I don't even know, like all my cells were completely buzzing, like vibrating at like warp speed. I didn't know if I wanted to stay, in the suit or like go completely out of the suit is like what I say. So it was very, very intense. And then when I lay down, I could see my third eye, all the particles and stuff coming off, which me and you talked about that. And then I could see nothing but energy circuits everywhere in like diamonds.
Yeah.
Diamond grids. Diamond grids and sparkles and all this stuff. And I was like, wow, this is pretty cool, but this is all through my third eye. But I'm sitting there frying, like back of my neck feels like I just got hit with an electrical bolt. But that's it was crazy. It was insane all the way through the neck. I had to go get ice packs and then put them on the back of the neck. It was insane.
Did you go through? Yeah, because my neck was like where I kept saying it felt like I had two necks. Like the tube, my light tube was just like so extended that I'm like, how does it even fit within my neck space?
But see, I went through that a few months ago. I went through all that and where everything went completely like open. So I mean, I don't know.
I had two, but it's another.
I go through this time.
But it's like usually that happens, once a year or something like that. But I swear it's only been 2 months since that happened last. So whatever this newest thing is, it's happening again. So I don't know. I mean, I really kind of hope it's not a monthly thing that it happens. But if it has to be, then I guess it has to be. So.
Wow.
I know.
That was
about it.
I just decided to sleep a lot and go lay out in the dirt. At this point, I'm like, I'm just gonna go and do earthing for about a few days because that's the only thing that seems to calm me. I think I laid down like this and I was like, take it all. Take it all, the energy, releasing all the energies and all the attachments, everything we're holding on to. And I'm like, just transmute it, do something. I need you, Gaia.
Yeah, it's true.
Wrap me up, nurture me, Gaia. What else were you gonna say? It was just that whole 4 days was just crazy.
Yeah, and I've been surprised at it because usually it doesn't take this long to get through, stages. But this really has seemed to me, it's been like 3 or 4 different stages at once. So I mean, all I could imagine is because of, going back to Australia, which, I know all the money's going to come together. It'll all work out. I'm just moving forward, going spirit. You got my back. I'm doing this. Yeah. And so it's like, I'm guessing whatever my next stages are, whatever my next mission, so to speak, is, extra downloads of whatever I need for country there.
Yes.
Which is exciting. Yeah.
Which we're also, a lot of the experiencing in the body, I don't even know how to explain it. It just feels like you want to just jump out of your body type thing. And it feels like anxiety, but you can feel like you're between your feet. You can feel everything just completely vibrating at a max level.
Yes.
That right there is because you're about to quantum leap to your highest path. And that's what, my counsel kept telling me. They're like, you're going to quantum leap. And that's why you'll see flashes of all these timelines too that will be coming. You'll start seeing all these timelines start coming in that you're being aligned to, or you'll see them in your sleep. You can actually see them too also in your sleep, or be working through stuff, probably karmic stuff in the sleep. I do want to mention something real fast before you start with the timelines. We'll get back to that. I am raising a GoFundMe for Allison and Robin, my lovely, beautiful twin flames that have been separated probably for about 17 months now. I'm going to actually put the link at the bottom. So if anybody wants to donate, if it's $5 or $10 or privately donate, you can just message us too. Anything will help for them to get back together. It's very hard for twin flames to be separated. There's, how do you say it? It's like withdrawals. So it is physically like going through withdrawals.
Yeah.
Okay, being separated from your twin too as well. It's very, very hard, and they've done well for a good 17 months of their holy separation is what I'm going to call it. And they're ready to become in union, and he's been through a lot too as well medically. So if you would just also read also what we wrote on there too, and anything will help. I'm going to keep it running probably for about a year just to see if we can match it to what, what the amount is that we need. Okay. So.
And thank you. And I do thank the people that have PayPal'd me separately, because I didn't want to do it through that site or something. And you've been so generous and wonderful, and just thank you. Thank you.
Thank you to everyone. It's much appreciated too, because you guys have a lot of work to do on a cosmic level. And eventually I'm going to let Robin just sit for a little bit, and then I'm going to tell him, you have work to do. Twin flames don't come together for nothing. Okay. And I'm going to have to tell him that. But you guys have work to do on a cosmic level. And as far as for the grids of the earth, for anchoring things into the earth, working together, you can, with the third energy, you can actually start manifesting, creating, for the new earth movements and stuff too. So.
Well, and since he is Aboriginal Australian, or Australian Aboriginal, whatever,
yeah.
That's the latest big Stargates online is Uluru. They're in Australia. Okay. So that is a 6-dimensional Stargate. And so I know that that's what we're needed for as well. So yeah, we'll get there. We'll get together. We'll get it situated. We'll live somehow, and we'll do this. But
yes,
I'm so excited.
Me too. Me too. Okay. You want to get back to the timelines?
Yeah, they were talking about potential timelines, and we know that we're going through and clearing timelines that we've created, because they talked about the importance of letting go of your dreams, really looking at, since you were a child, as, I wanted that red bicycle, or I wanted that doll, or, I wanted that truck, whatever it was. All of those were potential timelines that are still in possible play. They haven't been energized, and some of them do fall off, but a lot have not, because we've spent so much energy. As kids, we were really manifestors, and there's so many things, even like through teenage, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever stuff. So they're talking about really just look out with intentions of just cauterizing, basically, and removing those timelines, freeing them, letting them go, so that you're more focused on probable potentials that you're interested in. And then they indicated also be aware, I guess is the word. There are potential timelines also in place that other people have put you into for them. And those are also potential timelines in place. So it's like those, because if they're putting a lot of energy into wanting you in their life, or wanting, good or bad, it doesn't, or whichever, light or night, I guess we should say. God, tears, it's crazy, my tears. That those are timelines that are also potentials that are also in play, and it's just another level awareness of seeing those and clearing them up, because you may come across timelines, you're like, I didn't do this. Nope, you sure didn't, but somebody has sure put a lot of time and energy in attempting to pull you into their timeline. So it's again being responsible for our energies. Yeah,
go ahead.
No, that's fine. Just being responsible for our energies, because we can feed that, we can ignore that, and by ignoring it, we're actually, assisting. We're not knocking it down.
Okay. Can't you program your Merkaba for that not to happen?
You can program it not to have an effect, but you can't program it not to happen. I can't program you not to want me in your in your life.
What if I program you not to? Allison is not in my life anymore.
Exactly. You can try.
No, I just realized the other day you were leaving, and I'm like, oh my God. Of course, I'm like bawling my eyes out because I've been bawling my eyes out for like 4 or 5 days, like crazy. Because that's what happens. Like, you literally, it's called the Phoenix cycle. It's
yes,
basically, yeah. You'd be crying and crying, and then eventually you pop out, whoo, like
I know,
like a rainbow butterfly or something. So I felt like today I feel like I'm shooting butterfly rainbows everywhere. Like, after coming out of this cocoon that I was in for like 4 days. Oh man.
And all I would ask is that you transfer some of that energy towards an awesome kick-ass spiritual center or retreat center so that we can do, worldwide stuff and have people come in, and, you're more than welcome, of course, to come and be a guest speaker along with, I've got a whole list of people I would love
I
to be
did
able
though.
to
See, that's the whole funny thing. It's right before all this happened to me. I set up everything, you know what I mean? Like the intentions, everything, and then boom. And that's what has to happen is I have to sit there and clear all this stuff in the lower chakras just for me to be able to get us on that highest path as far as a spiritual retreat, as far as us doing workshops, as far as us, getting everything that we need is, for the abundance. You have to clear the lower chakras. You just got to keep clearing, and if you got to keep looping in the cycles, then you just keep looping in the cycles.
Mm-hmm.
So until it gets clear.
Clearing, and remember that when you're clearing, don't keep doing the same stupid shit over and over. If you know you're doing something that you shouldn't and you clear, don't think that you can still do it and clear, because you're not going anywhere, and your guides will kick you in the butt. They just will. They're going to be like, that's nice that you're clearing and that you need to clear. Stop doing it. And they make you. But, that's okay.
The emotional and the mental body is being cleared very, very much right now. The emotional and the mental body, definitely. That's what I realized big time. Emotional body, and then the mental body. The emotional body is considered the astral body too, and those two we're definitely clearing for right now, big time. We're clearing the physical body, but those two we're definitely working on, because the mental is just like, it's just going insane.
Yes, it is.
It is definitely it's going off the chain. So I was like, wow, what is all this stuff, guys? I communicate. When I say guys, I'm talking to my councils, my higher selves, and going like, I thought we already cleared all this. Why is this keep running? Tell me how to fix this. What do you call it? This circuit.
Exactly. And it's funny because I'm starting
all
a new
here. It's all this new system.
Yes.
All
and it's
around
pushing
the
out the old. It's bringing up any of the old stuff, and a lot of the old stuff. I mean, it's reverting back in our years, and depending on how old you are, is how many years you've got of old ways. You might have changed what you believed. You might have changed your habits. You might have changed your characteristics. But all of those, each of those times of your life of where you were, what you were, are still in there to be cleared. So it may somebody come up and go, well, I haven't done that, 30 years. Yeah, but it's still in your physical body as a process and has to go. So it's tough, because a lot of things are coming up and you're like, I haven't done that in 30 years. That's not who I am anymore, but it's who you were.
Yep.
And it's got to go.
Yep. Just so like addiction.
Takes great acceptance.
Yep.
Of yourself.
My addiction to caffeine. That's so I've come to terms today. I know that I have a new higher self that's coming in to assist at this point, because my diet has completely changed to nothing but vegetables and fruit and no caffeine. So since that happened to me, I stopped drinking coffee and caffeine. I have a little bit of tea here, but I don't even care to have it. So it's kind of like, and it's really funny. Another thing that I realized is, wow, like I haven't spent years without having this type of caffeine, you know, between coffee. I mean, I stopped drinking Red Bulls and stuff a long time ago. I've been cleansing out for that. That's horrible. Those energy drinks are really not good for you as you're clearing them out. No. So I was like, wow, I just didn't realize, you know, how to live like a child again without, I guess it would be going back to your childhood, because when did we not have coffee and caffeine? Then it was a long time, years. Anyways, keep going. I'll keep babbling.
No, that's great. You're right.
But I realize that I have a new high, like a higher self obviously is kicking in for me to be like, okay, this is gone. You know, let's move all this stuff off, you know. Connecting with the Divine Mother. Big time right now. I'm pulling in the Divine Mother big time for me, just to be like, okay, you know, this is what I feel like I need, which is, you know, it's that it can explain the feminine energies and everything that we're talking about, and that, you know, the feminine power is coming back online. So yeah.
And I'm grateful, and I do feel that, you know, for the male species, that will be a whole new level of, I don't know, a learning curve, because it's not something that they've experienced either. And to have that come online, to have the original feminine wisdom and intuition come online for men, it's also going to cause them, it could cause them some additional issues within their bodies, because it's not something they're used to either. It's something they're really, really not used to. So any men, I mean, just understand, it's okay. It's okay if you cry. It's okay that you have emotions. It's okay that you get angry. You know, it's okay that these things, you're going through this process, because this process is a human process. It's not a male-female process. So you're going to go through the majority of all the same symptoms, no matter what sex we are. That's just the way that it is. And so that doesn't make you less manly, you know, more feminine. It doesn't mean anything like that. It's just the human form. And the males have had it really, I mean, they've had a bad rap from, you know, from being little boys and being told how to act certain ways and what to do and what to not do. And there's such a stereotypical, you know, whatever the word is for men and what they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to be. So I absolutely applaud all men that are really looking at it and saying, I want to be me, who I am, and just set aside everything else.
I really applaud all men that are going through the awakening process too. That are waking up. I really applaud them. You know, keep doing it. It's a hard process. It's very hard for them. I've noticed because of all that conditioning. It's very, very hard for them. Especially with the ego and stuff, and breaking down the ego and being told never to cry. I mean, we've always been told never to cry, but for men, it's like, oh, if you cry, you're weak, or you're not, you know, not a man if you don't cry, like stuff like that. Like, and they're waking up. I definitely applaud them, especially the men that are waking up and getting in touch with their heart again and their feelings.
And that's why it makes it more difficult, because as the bodies are clearing, all of the emotions that we've stuffed from childhood on up have to come out.
Yes.
So if a man was never allowed to cry his entire, you know, 30, 40, 50, 80 years, then that's a lot of pain that child, his inner child, has sustained that has not been able to be expressed.
Yep.
And for men, I mean, I understand, you know, find your quiet time, go as best as you can to your inner child, and just be that parent. Be the parent that you needed or that you wanted, or, you know, it's being a parent. That really is being a parent to yourself, and say, you know, gee, buddy, that was a really fucked up ride we had to do, but I'm here now. Let's walk together. Trust me, I'm going to get us through this. Yep. Because that's, you know, more of the male way to handle it, of we're going to do this. We got this. And to allow that child to kick, scream, yell, cry, do whatever it needs to do within you, just to be heard. We all need to be heard. We all need to be acknowledged. And there's no way that I can sit and talk to anyone to even make sense of what happened to me as a child because it would take me forever to try to put together why this bothered me, why that bothered, the whole thing. I can't explain it to anyone. So each of us, it's an inside job. I know my circumstances. I know what I think went on, what I think I remember, I know how I felt anyway through the situation. And it's listening to myself and acknowledging I couldn't say what I needed to because kids aren't allowed to speak, kind of thing, or I couldn't express it because, suck it up, buttercup. Whatever happened where as a child I could not get out what I needed to and just stuffed it, it's time to get it out.
Yep.
It's just time to get it out. And I know that some men are probably afraid, well, if I open that door, what's going to happen? Am I going to sit and cry for the next 6 months? What is it? And I think that my new meditation series, I've got one that my 10-minute meditations is what I'm doing. And it's really fun. I'll start posting them pretty soon, I think, probably next week.
I'm excited.
And one of them was, get my head out of here. Because so many times we've got our head stuck on a particular subject or on something. And it was like,
yeah. And I really need this one right now.
So, yeah, exactly. My first one was called I Can't Meditate. That's the first one I'll post. So that'll be fun. It's going to be, this is a fun series. It's really been fun to do.
I'm excited.
But anyway, so it's like, just understand, no, you don't know what's going to happen, but you are a soul in a human body, and talk to your crew, talk to your higher self. Even if you don't hear the communication, make it clear with your voice, through your own voice, saying, I am willing to look at the things that need to come up. I am willing to do it one by one. I am willing to do what needs to be done, and I ask to not be overwhelmed with any more than is necessary. And I think for men that's important, because it's a level of control without having control. It's basically setting your boundaries and your parameters. And that is important for a man to be comfortable in doing the process, from my opinion. I'm not a man, I don't know, but from working with men, that's what I've seen so far. Might be of benefit to them. But keep going. And we're here as the feminine. I support them. I support a man. I understand that what they're going through is what they're going through. We don't take it on. We stand and just go, yeah, you're looking at it. It doesn't matter what it is that you have to look at. I don't care. Yeah.
I do.
Just, you're looking at it.
I like the last week, all my boys went down, and I'm like, oh man. I was like, what's going on here? I was like, oh, my boys are out like for like 3 days, like just, and I'm like, it's okay, you guys are gonna be all right, like I have to be there for them, because some of them, they don't know, or they're just starting on this process, and I just have to reassure them everything's gonna be fine. I give them a list. Here's the Ascension symptoms. Let's work through this. Not dying, nobody's attacking you, you're not having energy set at you, because that's not what I was picking up anyways. And I try not to go into that fear-based stuff all the time. I'm like, it's ascension waves that are coming through, and you are going through this process. All right, great, thanks. Just want to make sure that I'm all right. That's it.
Yes.
Am I still breathing?
Exactly. And reach out to us. I mean, anybody, just reach out. We're fine to do, a quick PM or whatever. There's sessions with either one of us. We don't care. We'll put the links underneath in our thing as well. And let's just work together. Let's just work together and get through this.
Yeah, if we all come together, we can actually work together better too. Yes. So we need support. Even I do. I have to I message Allison, and I don't know what I'm going to do when you're in Australia. How am I supposed? I'm just going to have to fly over there. How am I going to make it on the plane? I'm sitting there going, well,
there's only 12 hours difference in our time, which is, we'll figure that one out. But yeah, it is, a 36-hour trip.
There's been times I physically need Allison, and I'll be like, I got to come over and sit with you. Like, please take care of me. One of the biggest things is like, I just want to be held. Like, that's another thing that keeps coming up, even from the last one. when I was with you, I was like, will you just hold me? I just need someone to hold me that knows what I'm going through right now.
Exactly.
Please?
Yeah.
God.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
seriously. And a lot of people ask me, they're like, why don't you have a boyfriend? Like, I had this man ask me that yesterday, and I'm looking at him like, I don't know. Like, you know, because we need someone to nurture us through this process. And it's funny, through this whole process, I've been forced to do this by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Every single upgrade is completely by myself. So I'm sure there's a lesson in that for no codependency. Is the only thing I can think of is what the biggest lesson of that is, not having codependency. So on somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it gets to the point where I'm like, can you just hold me?
And a lot of people have gone through that solitary time as well. And it's as though, because a lot of people are like, well, if I just have that other person to work with, then I'll do then I'll do what I need to. And the spirit goes, no, do what you need to. Then another person can be brought in to work with you. Yep. But anytime you're looking outside yourself for someone else to do it with you, they've shut that down. Yeah. So as long as you keep thinking that way, you're not going to have anybody come into your life, which you're not. You're doing fantastic. Now you're at a level where it takes someone in equal energies.
Yeah, I know. To have equal energies to be with me. Yep.
Yeah, and that brings us into the whole other, the intimate stuff that we probably will still do a show on that one. Yep. The only other thing that I have left was on alternate ascension loops. I don't have anything else to call it. That's the only thing that I've got that I can attempt to come to. I just call them alternate ascension loops, and it's almost as though there are some people we're noticing in the spiritual community that have jumped on board with the concept or with this is the way, this is the ascension process, and it's like they're defending it to no end, and like this is the way it is, this is how it is, and it's like they're not the right word, they're continuing to follow this particular ascension path that they believe is right. And a lot of that I'm seeing is almost in some people are getting like huge followings, like thousands of people are following every word they say, and this is how we ascend, this is what we do. And I really would like to caution people on that, because it's internal, it's individual, and there is no one else that can tell you and lead you along on exactly what you're supposed to do on the ascension process. We can communicate, we can talk, but if you're just blindly following someone who says this is what you have to do step by step, you need to really kind of look at it. There are basics, I understand that, and we will do an ascension course because that's on my list in my calendar. The crew's like, you're doing an ascension course. What are the basics? What are the practices? But they're just showing me some cautions, and they're saying there's nothing wrong. Nothing's ever wrong anyway in their minds. There's nothing wrong if you are following someone, if you are being in that situation, because at some point, again, it's just a loop. You will continue doing that same thing over and over until you recognize that there's something else for you to be doing, and it's on an individual level. Okay. So you will gain knowledge, you will gain the wisdom, you will gain experience, you will gain all of these things. But like we were just talking about with relationships, until you step back individually and say, this is my universe, this is my belief, I'm looking at my stuff, it's just alternate ascension loops. I mean, that's really all I can say.
We're each in our own universe. So we're each going to be going through what we need to go through. I mean, my counsel tells me don't read anything. Majority of the time. Once in a while I'll go and read some things here and there. I've read some of the Ascension glossaries, which is it's not far off to what I've downloaded years previous. And you have to understand how my counsel works is that they will download me, or my higher selves, actually. I'm being corrected. Yeah, exactly. That I'm sitting here, my higher self will actually give me the downloads, oversoul to what I need for the process years before, and then I end up coming across reading it somewhere in the Ascension glossaries, basically, like maybe a year later, 6 months later. That's how they work. It's called confirmation. And that's, anything that they download me with, I'll end up finding it later on. So it's kind of like, aha, you showed me this already. Thank you. The confirmation. I'm not losing my effing mind. So
yeah, that's Lisa Renee, Energetic Synthesis. She does a fantastic job. I love her stuff as well. Yep. And then Lisa Transcendence Brown. Both of the Lisas. It's funny that,
Lisa and
I come
Lisa.
across the Lisas. Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I look at. That's who they told me, like, if you're going to follow anybody, you research these people. Okay. Yeah. Some of the Ashwanadine too, which I talked about, the Kathara teachings, but the Kathara teachings and the Ascension glossary go hand in hand. If you actually read the Katharas and you read what she's pulled up, it's the same. There's no difference. It's almost as if, like, I was wondering if they studied together or something, because it's like on point to everything that's in the Katharas too. So,
and then the other, wrench in the whatever the phrase is.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the information, like for you and I, we may have similar information that comes through, similar downloads, similar things that we resonate with. Understand as well that we are multidimensional beings. And some of this information may resonate with me because the majority of my time was Arcturian or Lyran or Andromedan. And somebody else's, majority of time, they may have been Draco, Reptilian. There's light and night of those. There's nothing wrong with any of the races at all. And so therefore, the majority of information that comes through would resonate with them and wouldn't resonate with me. Doesn't make any of it false, doesn't make any of it true. It just means, again, the soul progress of where you currently are in what you're learning and releasing and removing is the information you'll receive that strikes the chord.
Yeah.
And if you need it in, a reptilian, familial, how that system works, how the families are, and that's what is the, the door knocker to open you up, then that's what I want you to receive. I mean, that's the information. So,
you learn your own truth.
Whatever we say.
It's evolution.
Yes. And you learn your truth, and then you learn your truth wasn't truth when you learn new truth, and it's constant. I mean, I swear, every day, I'm like, why did I believe that? It was true yesterday, not true today.
Yep. That's evolution. Change your beliefs. That's what Ascension is. Ascension is change your beliefs. Keep changing them, and you'll start to see the truth, the inner truth more. So, Ascension loops. That's pretty cool.
And you don't have to believe a word that I say, and that's perfectly okay.
You don't have to believe a word that I say either, and that's okay. But if you like listening to our crazy shit, you can go on and down and watch it. I know. I mean, you just can't make this shit up, and that is our word. You just can't. The stuff that me and you come down with, we're just like, you can't make this up. You just can't.
My imagination couldn't even begin to go in some of the places that we've gone.
And I've come from, like, I've never watched Star Wars, I've never watched Star Trek, I've never read any type of sci-fi books, and the stuff that I come down with, I'm like, you just can't make this up. Like, I'll call her, like, I was like, you know what happened to me last night? Like, you know what I saw? Like, I was seeing all this stuff. She's like, yeah, this is this and that's that. And I'm like, this is crazy. I was like, yeah, that's what they showed me, I was like, the Merkaba vehicle is, number one, amazing. I mean, it depends on what levels that you get up to, but it is just so cool. My imagination cannot make this stuff up. It's just crazy. But it's beautiful too, as well, to be like, wow, if you only knew what we could if we just open up, we'd be able to download so many, I guess it's information from the Akashic records, which we're going up into the Galactic records at this point. So. And
beyond. There's much more. Yeah. Yeah, there is.
But you just can't, and that's our saying. You just can't make this shit up. The stuff that we come down with.
Not even close. Not even close.
No, not at all. I never even watched Doctor Who. Like, I don't even know. I have to call her and be like, so this is this, and I was skipping through time. How does this? No. Like, and she'll just tell me, this is what that is. It's funny.
Yep. I'm done with my list. That's all I got.
Okay, me too. I'm done with my list. All right, we love you guys. We hope you guys have
Love
a
you.
wonderful, well, what day is it? Tomorrow's Thursday. Have a good weekend soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.